30,000 years ago, survival required constant movement. In a harsh world of hunting, climbing, and escaping predators, it only took one wrong step. A shattered leg was a nightmare. Without the ability to walk, you could no longer hunt for food, carry water to camp, or keep pace with your tribe as they migrated to follow the seasons. In nature, the law is unforgiving. A wounded wolf is often abandoned by the pack. A crippled animal becomes prey almost immediately. For most species, an injury that prevents movement is an immediate end to survival. Before the existence of hospitals, painkillers, or surgery, a broken bone was a death sentence. There was no recovery in the wild, only the pain and the inevitable. But archaeologists have discovered something defying this logic. They found ancient skeletons, like this one, that show evidence of horrific, shattered limbs that completely healed. A bone fracture of this severity takes months of rest and protection to knit back together. In a prehistoric context, that is an impossible amount of time to survive alone. This creates a paradox. If a broken bone meant certain death in the wild, why are we finding physical proof of long-term healing? These weren't just simple cracks. Ancient humans lived violent, physical lives, and their injuries reflected that. Bones snapped by falls from cliffs or crushed during encounters with massive animals. While the fracture was the immediate crisis, the real killer was often infection. Without antibiotics, a simple open wound exposed to dirt and bacteria would lead to swelling and fever, spreading through the body in a matter of days. To address severe head trauma, some cultures even practiced trepanation. This involved drilling or scraping holes directly into the skull to relieve pressure. There was no anesthesia or sterilization. These surgeries were performed using only sharpened stone tools. Yet the bone growth around these holes proves that many patients actually survived the ordeal. Surviving the recovery was as statistically unlikely as surviving the injury itself. It required a level of resilience that modern medicine has made hard to imagine. To understand how they made it, we have to look at the timeline of survival. A person unable to walk dies of dehydration or starvation within days, represented by this short red bar. But a broken femur needs months to heal. This gap represents total helplessness. It's mathematically impossible to bridge this distance alone. The only way to survive those months is if another human being manually provides water, shares food, and stands guard against predators. This forced a change in the logic of the tribe. To keep one person alive, the entire group had to slow down, adjust their nomadic movements, and prioritize the survival of a member who could not contribute to the hunt. A healed prehistoric bone isn't just a medical curiosity. It is hard evidence that a social safety net existed tens of thousands of years ago. These healed fractures often left limbs permanently deformed. While these individuals could likely no longer hunt or travel long distances, the fact that they lived on shows they remained valued members of the group despite their physical limitations. This shared experience of injury likely built a culture of caution. The memory of a shattered leg became a story told around the fire, a warning passed down to the next generation about where not to climb or how to approach a wounded animal. This history explains why humans still have such a visceral reaction to the sound of a bone cracking. For most of our existence, that sound signaled a catastrophe that threatened the survival of the entire group. Instead of fracturing the tribe, these injuries forced humans to become more cooperative. Pain created a need for community. This is why many anthropologists define a healed femur as the earliest sign of civilization. It marks the moment we began to care for each other in a way no other species did. Modern medicine has transformed these injuries into survivable inconveniences, making it easy to forget the life and death stakes our ancestors faced every time they stepped out into the wild. Our success as a species didn't come from being the strongest or the fastest animals. It came from our refusal to leave the injured behind. We became human the moment we decided to stay, to help, and to carry each other through the pain.